Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna be transplanting two of my house plants into these beautiful pots that I bought, and that I'm gonna show you a little later. I also got two small house plants, two very small house plants that I really love. Um, I got them from Home Depot. I went in there for something else and came out back with plants. I don't know how that happened. But that's how it goes sometimes. If you're a plant lover, that's how it goes sometimes. Anyway, I bought this plant that I've never really seen it, and I do not have one in my house. And I was like, you know what? It's very small. I have a nice little pot that I can put it in, and well, hopefully I still have the pots because I think I gave away some plants in my pots. But anyway, this here is some sort of, I don't know if you can see the name, coffee plant. Like it didn't give me any name. It just says coffee plant. So it sounds kind of interesting to me, and I really want to have one of this in my home to see what's gonna be the outcome of it. Does the foliage change color? Does it stay this beautiful shiny green? What's the expect of it? So I really wanted one, so I got me a small one, and I'm gonna pot it up. Even if I don't have the small I think it's ceramic. If I don't have the small ceramic pots, I'm gonna put them in another pot just to give them airway to breathe and grow, because right now it's root bound in this little container here. Okay, and then I was able to put my hands on this one. Now, what about this plant? There's no name to it. It just tells you that this plant love high light. I'm gonna really look at this sticker and see where's the name on it. But what it is that I really love the variegated leaves. I really did like this. I don't even know, I have no idea what this plant is. I'm actually gonna just maybe put it in my lens and see if a name comes up to it. I'm gonna have to do that with both of them. But I really did like the leaves and stuff on this one, and I was like, you know what, let me get a small one. So I'm gonna pot these up today. I'm gonna really pot these up in pots that's gonna give them space to grow a little bigger and give them the light that they need inside the house, and we take it from there. Now I am gonna transplant two other pots that are coming, that they're root bound in their pot and they're coming out. One fell down a couple of days ago, so the soil is pretty loose, but the other one, the roots are coming out the bottom of the pot, so I'm gonna change that. There's a few more plants that I would like to change the pot before I'm able to take it back into my house. So along the way I'll probably do that, just so I'm not taking some of these ugly black pots into my house. Anyway, so we're gonna get the potting mix and everything up here, and we're gonna get down to some business. Okay, all right. Okay guys, it looks like we're about to get a thunderstorm. The place is very dark right now, and I'm losing light because they're just calling for a thunderstorm. So it looks like I'm gonna have to finish this tomorrow. Anyway, see you then. So it's the next day, my second attempt to go in and pot up these plants that I bought yesterday, and the ones that I want to transplant into new pots. Basically the plants that I am going to take inside of my house. I'm going to get them repotted, sprayed up, cut back, whatever I need to do to take them inside today, because it's going to be really hot today. And it's early in the morning, so it's really cool right now here. I'm drinking tea. Yeah, but it's going to be really cool. Now, story time. So, um, for the summer, I don't know if you guys know this. For the summer, we have been getting a lot of rain. So I'm like, I was telling my husband, I was like, oh man, it's summertime and we're getting so much rain. I've never seen this before. It's a whole lot of rain. Of course, my plants are loving it, but I do not like the lightning and the thunders and stuff. That scares me, because the first flag in your head is lightning, is fire somewhere, and the thunder is literally just scary. Okay. You feel like something is going to drop out the sky. And so another thing that I don't like is when it gets really cold. When it's cold, I don't like to feel cold. I like to feel warm. So so I always say, "Oh man, it's too cold to go here or it's too cold to go there." Like I like to feel warm. And I'm sure for most of you, I'm sure that I'm not in this alone. Another thing is eating. I love to eat, as you can tell. I cannot bear hunger. So my husband got this thing he always says, if starvation come to the country, I'm the first one that's gonna die because I cannot bear hunger for nothing. I can't. I just can't. Whenever I get hungry, my brain, like, it it goes into stupidity. I can't function. There's just something that happens up here, so I can't function. I get annoyed. I get, like if you're talking to me, I'm like in my head, I can't really hear you because all I can think about is where I can get food because I'm hungry, So he got this thing he always say, again, if starvation comes to the country, I'm going to be the first one going to die. He said, I always complain it's too cold. But when I get the summer heat, I said it's way too hot. So which one do I really want? Now let me tell you, I'm from the Caribbean and it's hot there. But when it's hot, hear my accent. You get that island breeze, man. You get all the island breeze. You don't get this humidity. So you don't feel like everything is just dripping down your face. You know what I mean? So which one do I want? I don't know either. Anyway, story time over. Let's get into potting up these plants before the heat moves in on me. Again, it's really cool, so I'm gonna get to do everything that I need to do very, very comfortable. Y'all pray for me. All right, let's get this plant up. Okay, so first I have these two ceramic pots. I had bought these from I bought them with plants from, I believe, Home Depot, maybe sometime last year. Yes, last year. And it was these plants here. This one and this one. And so I had to transplant them out because they were growing so fast. And these are also the two plants that I have to also transplant to a bigger pot as well because they're growing so fast. I think the little bit of fresh air and heat and stuff outside helped them to grow a little larger this summer here. So I'm going to put them into bigger pots. Now, these are the bigger pots. I bought these from Walmart, and these are the pots that I'm going to put them in to take inside of my house. Now, I do have inserts for these two pots. Um, that's how it came. So basically, I just cleaned this out and I have them inside here. And that's how I'm going to plant it up. So when I water these, these got the little, I don't know what you call this at the bottom. I call it the catcher. So it have the catcher at the bottom that, help me with not having to water so frequently or so often. So we're going to pot these two up. I still don't have the correct name for this, but we're going to look it up. It just says it need highlight house plant. I thought yesterday I didn't see it properly, but it just says house plant. It doesn't give me a name, so we really got to look at it. And I mean, it's small, so I'm kind of really looking at it here, but it just says house plant and it needs highlight. And this one just say coffee plant. And both of them was $5. So, it's like a win-win situation there for me. So I'm going to plant this up. I'm just using a regular potting mix. I don't know the brand of this. I could check I'm gonna check the bag and see what brand it is. See, this is in here and it's kind of root bound, so anyway, I'm gonna put back the tag in it, but let's pot this up. All right, I'm trying to pot this up so that the soil is not in all the leaves. And I'm also, the leaves can be easily broken, so I'm trying hard not to pop any of the leaves. And sometimes when you water these, the soil falls to the bottom. So I'm trying to make sure that it has enough soil. I'm also trying not to make a complete mess on this mat or on this table. All right. One down, few more to go. So this one is the coffee plant. And this one I'm going to try to, this one is not so root bound, but I'm trying to push the soil down in the pot so that when I put the water, I'm going to have to clean up here when I'm done. I was trying to prevent that part, but sometimes when you're working with soil, you got to expect everything unexpected, right? That's 2 down. These was easy. Okay, that was easy. I'm going to keep the tag for this one. We can still look that up, the money plant. Those two look cute, look pretty. All right, I'm going to keep that soil. All right. Now I think I'm going to have to stand up for this. All right, I think I got to stand up to do. Okay, so I had to move a little higher to make sure I can do these 2 pots properly. And so I'm going to start with this one. And this one was one of the plants that fell down. But if you notice, you see the roots are coming through this pot. So I may have to cut it. But let's see. Yep, I got to cut it. It's not coming out. So I have to cut these roots. All right, let's see. There we go. So this was totally root bound, although, although I switched the pot so fast, hopefully this works out pretty good. Let me put it a little higher. All right, there we go. And then I'm gonna put some. So whenever I use soil for inside the house, I typically want to use really good potting mix to put in these pots, really for good drainage, all the nutrients that comes within the soil to help the plant develop and grow properly. However, that's what I typically do. But I went into Walmart and saw a potting soil that had all the nutrients, but it wasn't this nice loose soil. But because it had all the nutrients, I was like, okay, Walmart brand, okay, we going for it, because these potting mix, the bag is almost $20 for the bag. And so the one at Walmart is like $11.99. So if it has the same nutrients in it, why not? That's how I feel. If it have all the necessary in it, why not? All right, doesn't this look cute? This looks really nice. And I have the little plate. Oh, I have the little plate to go at the bottom. Yeah, it seems a little wobbly. I don't know why, but okay. All right, it's gonna have to work. It already got my plant in it. All right, and this is the other one. So this is not really root brown, but you know, I guess it's fighting its way through. So we're gonna do this one too. I do need to switch some more. I think it's 2 more pots that I need, and I'm probably gonna switch those before the summer ends. Or I'll say before I take it in my house, I'm probably gonna switch the pots. Sooner than later, we'll get it done. I'll probably get it done sometime next week. Because things like this, whenever you have to do things like this, it kind of sits on your mind all the time. Like you have to get it done. You have, especially if it's this important. Yeah. Because we're in August. We're coming down to the end of August here. And pretty soon, for us, by Labor Day, we start to get a little chilly. A little, you got to wear a light, fleece sweater or whatever. So by that time, I want to get my plants inside. And, I want to be able to switch them over by then. Okay, now we got the other plate. Next plant. Oh, doesn't this look pretty? This looks so nice. And for one, I'm going to water them first. And then I'm going to spray them. Because these plants are going to be going inside. And so is about 3 or 4 others that I'm going to be taking inside. So I'm going to clean those up as well. So I'm going to put them on the other side so I could spray them. Actually, so I could water them, spray them, and clean off whatever I need to clean off. cute. So all these plants that is by the door, I'm going to be taking these plants inside my house today. Now I give them all a good soak. I need to find the bottom for some of them to make sure they have something to drain in, because some of them don't have the bottom clearly. Um, what I'm using to spray them off with, I'm using soap and um, soap and neem oil, and I pour it into this Captain Jack spray bottle. Now, normally I would use the Captain Jack dead bug, and that's what I would spray all of them with before I take them back into the house, because I believe just as how these spray work good outside, it could work for the plants that are going into your house. Okay, so that's the reason why I use this, and this been working pretty good for me so far. However, I ran out of this spray, so that's the reason why I'm using the neem oil with the soap. That's gonna take care of the bugs and everything that is on these plants just as good as the Captain Jack dead bug. Okay, so now let me get the spraying. Well, first of all, let me tell you, the neem oil got a terrible smell, of course, so you want to get rid of the smell before you take it into your house. When you're spraying, make sure you get up and under, through and through these plants, because bugs could be hiding at the bottom of the leaves. Okay, so make sure you really get to spraying them. Now, one of the reasons why I'm taking these plants in now is because I don't want to wait until it gets too late and then I'm rushing. That happened to me last year, and I don't want it to happen again this year. Now, for some of the plants that have big leaves, I am going to wipe them off because I don't want them dripping in the house, and I don't want them to dry with that white, soapy, oily stuff on them. So I'm going to give it some time, maybe about a good hour or two, and then I'm going to wipe off the leaves before I take them in. Now, the reason I'm taking some of these plants in, well, let me bring the camera closer so I could show you. Okay, so the white that you're seeing on the leaves is the soap and the oil that is running off. But I had to make sure that I get up through and under these plants to make sure they get sprayed properly. I don't want to take anything inside the house to mess with the other plants that I have in there. Apart from this is I am going to wipe off the leaves so it wouldn't have like the whiteness on it. It won't have all this stuff on it. Okay. Another thing is when I am taking these plants inside, what I would normally do is take off a little bit of the soil from the top and put fresh soil. The reason for doing that is if anything is sitting on top of the soil in your pots, you don't want that to crawl back on your plants. Or you want whatever that is on top of that soil to die as well. So as much as I spray the leaves and the stems of the plant, I still spray the mulch that is sitting around the plant so that nothing can crawl back up. Another thing is, if you notice, the reason I'm taking them in now, because clearly we're like halfway of summer or something like that. But some of these plants cannot, literally cannot take the heat of the summer. They're getting I don't know if you can see that. It's getting pretty burnt out, and I'm really trying to prevent that. So the sun is not going to get into this area till about maybe like 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock. I give it that time. And by that time, because it's still early in the morning, it's like 8 something right now. Yeah, it's like 8:15 right now. So that's how early I came out here to feel the nice cool breeze. So I'm going to give them probably about 12 o'clock or so and wipe them off nicely and take them in the house. Okay, I have some more of the house plants that is left on my patio. I'm going to show you that. Okay, so this is what the other side look like. Sometimes the good comes with the bad. So although I'm going to take those plants inside and I had to clean them up pretty good, there's over here and the plants over there. The fern is doing pretty good because it's been in the shade. And this fern was a very small plant, so it really bloomed its best. Like it's really filled out. It looks amazing. Um, there's this plant here. Don't know the name. Sorry about that, guys. I have to take this one inside as well because the heat has been burning the leaf. Sometimes plants that love the summer, the warm weather, we'll say this. Plants that love heat really can deal with so much heat, you know. So although they love the warm weather, you still got to put them in some protection because when it starts to burn, it starts to burn. Like for example, let me turn the camera. This plant right here, there's a whole lot of leaves on the ground. It's a whole lot of sunburned leaf I had to take off, and there's some of them that fell off themselves. This is one of the pots that plants that I need a nice pot for before I can take it in the house. And this same one here, right here. I wanted to change the pots, but you know what? I start to think about it, and if I don't get to change the pot, I'm still gonna take them in the house the way they are because I gotta save my plant, right? Yeah, I just don't like the these black pots is like nursery pots, and so they're not very cute to go in your house. So I say the ugly pots. You know, maybe it's a bad term to use, but I just don't like them. Anyway, I got another plant here. This one did amazing for me this summer because I had it in the house and it started to die because it wasn't getting enough sunlight. However, I brought it outside early. Um, it was late spring. Late spring when it was pretty warm. I brought it outside and I potted up in this pot that it's in. This is also a nursery pot. I potted up in here and it was just the three stems with barely two leaves on them. And now look at it. So I was very excited to see this plant just bounce back. So I wanted to put it in a nicer pot, you know, and of course, when I put it in the house, I'm going to make sure it's getting enough light and everything that it needs. Some of these plants, I do have to put them on my lens, pull them up and see the kind of light they need, the kind of how much water they need, because most of the times we just water a plant to make sure it's getting water and it's not drying out. Um, and we're doing it the wrong way. So I believe for this specific plant, I was doing it the wrong way. So I think that's why it kind of like fall through what in the time that it was in the house. Hopefully I can take care of it for this season, and when it comes back out next spring summer, it's doing even better. And then there's this beauty. This palm had about three stalks, leaf stems, whatever you call them, on it while it was in my house. And when I brought it out, it just took off. I pot it up. There's a video of me potting it up in this container right here in the late spring when I was bringing them outside. And from since then, this plant took off. When I bring this plant back inside, I really hope it continues to bloom, but I really love the progress on it. And then there's the bird of paradise. This plant is paradise because let me tell you, it's doing amazing. I saw a couple of viewed videos, other folks' videos. Oh, Plant Arena. Her videos of the bird of paradise, how big it was in her home. And I loved it, absolutely love it. And I said, you know what? When I put this plant outside, I really hope that it looks at least half of what hers look like. And oh my goodness, it's doing amazing. Absolutely love it. So when I take these plants inside, I hope it continues full progress. I am going to put most of them by the windows and stuff to make sure it's getting sufficient light. Or, you know, what is for medium light is going to be medium light, and what is for high light, I hope that it's going to get that high light when I put them by the window. Well, we'll see. Only time is going to tell. Okay, guys. So this is all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you get a chance to do something amazing, something beautiful. And I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.